You've felt it, haven't you? A sudden stillness, as if time itself was holding its breath. As if your heart knew, before your mind could understand. The angels say, this was never just a feeling. It was a remembering. Something ancient stirred inside you the moment your soul brushed against theirs. Not in the way humans love to romanticize, but in the sacred recognition of one spirit encountering another, from long before this life began. You may have thought you were drawn to them by chance. But heaven does not operate on chance. The divine charts each meeting with purpose, and this connection, oh this one, was written in realms your eyes cannot see. The angels whisper, you were sent into this person's path not to complete them, but to awaken them. Your presence was a seed of disruption, wholly necessary, irreversible. Where they had built walls, you carried light. Where they had forgotten how to feel, you arrived with breath and fire. This is not the beginning of love. It's the return of a promise. A silent vow made between your souls in the space between lifetimes. And now, everything in the unseen moves to remind you of that truth. The angels say, she carries the memory of what he's been searching for. That's why he can't look away. There's a reason your heart aches without understanding. A reason your spirit clings to something so uncertain. Because this isn't about logic. It's about legacy, the kind only the soul remembers. He doesn't know yet. But he will. And when he does, he'll remember too. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. He pulls away. You feel it. Like waves retreating just when your feet find the shore. And it hurts, not because you don't know your worth, but because somewhere inside, you already know he's not running from you. He's running from himself. The angels say, this soul is afraid of the light you bring, not because it blinds him, but because it shows him what he's never dared to face. You stirred something in him, not passion, not desire, but remembrance. And that kind of awakening can be terrifying for someone who's made a life out of forgetting. He's not used to being seen. Not like this. Not by someone who looks past the surface and speaks to the ache he's hidden for years. You didn't mean to touch the wound. You only reached for the truth. But the truth has a way of burning through every disguise. The angels reveal, he has loved and lost before. But never like this. This isn't loss he fears, it's being known. He carries old scars like shields, thinks silence is safer than surrender. So he holds back, not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much. And that much feeling, in someone who has lived in survival, can feel like drowning. You were never asking for too much. You were simply asking for what he never learned to give. Not because he's incapable, but because no one ever taught him how to be held without shame. There's pain he's never spoken of. Betrayals buried beneath success. Wounds that still bleed beneath the surface of his calm. And now? You are the mirror. Not of his past, but of who he could become, if only he'd let go. So don't take his distance as rejection. Take it as the unraveling. The soul resists when it's being called back to itself. The angels say, he is scared of losing control, not of losing you. But one day he'll realize, the only safe place he ever knew was your presence. And you've spent so long trying to love him through his storms that you forgot your own sky was waiting to be seen. The angels lean close now and whisper gently, your light was never meant to burn out to keep someone else warm. You were never called to rescue him. Only to reflect back what he's been too afraid to claim. But in doing so, you must remember, you are not a healer who forgets her own medicine. There is no reward in emptying yourself. No divine merit in putting your heart last. That is not love. That is abandonment disguised as sacrifice. And your soul knows better now. The angels remind you, you were created to be loved as you love. Fully. Consistently. Without having to shrink. Let this chapter be one where you return to yourself. Where you walk into the mirror and greet the woman you've neglected, not because you didn't care for her, but because you thought caring for him was more urgent. You can still believe in this connection and choose yourself. Still hold space for his growth while refusing to dim your essence. Love does not demand your silence. Love does not ask you to wait in the dark. And the kind of love your spirit was made for? It meets you where you shine the brightest. The angels say, he sees your glow, even when he looks away. But you must see it first. So drink from your own cup now. Reclaim your rituals. Speak your prayers out loud again, not for answers, but for remembering. Because what you pour into yourself today will echo into every connection tomorrow. And when you choose your light, you teach him, and the world, how to finally love you right. You wonder why he avoids your eyes. Why he pauses before speaking. Why every tender moment feels like it's about to slip through his fingers. The angels say, he doesn't see you, he sees himself, reflected back in your gaze. And that frightens him more than anything. Because in your presence, he can no longer pretend. You hold up a mirror he never asked for, but one his soul desperately needed. Not the mirror of perfection, but the kind that shows truth beneath the armor. You are not the cause of his confusion. You are the contrast. A living embodiment of the wholeness he has not yet claimed. In your eyes, he sees who he could be, if he let go of the lies he told himself just to survive. And that kind of seeing is not comfortable. It's confrontational. The angels reveal, your light doesn't just inspire him. It exposes him. He's drawn to you because you feel like peace. He pulls away because he's still at war within. Every word you speak, with softness, with clarity, shakes the foundation he thought was solid. He hears truth in your silence. He feels healing in your presence. But healing requires pain first. And not everyone is ready for the breaking before the breakthrough. So he hesitates. Not because you're too much, but because your very essence demands he stop being so little with himself. The angels say, you are not here to be easy. You are here to be real. You are the sacred reminder of what it means to be vulnerable, of what it means to be seen and still be loved. He's not running from you. He's running from the version of himself he must become to stand beside you. Something shifted. You feel it. Not loud, but undeniable. The angels whisper, he thought he could forget you. But the soul does not forget what the soul recognizes. In the quiet, he thinks of you. In moments when the world fades, your face returns, not just as memory, but as a call. He has been waking slowly. Not all at once, but in sacred fragments. Like light slipping through a curtain he didn't know he'd drawn. And now the questions come, why her? Why does she stay in my thoughts? Why does it feel like she knows a part of me I've never shown? Because you do. The angels say, she unlocked a doorway in him that no one else dared to knock on. He's remembering the feeling of being safe without walls, of being seen without masks, of being loved without having to earn it. It scares him, but it also saves him. This is what the soul does when it starts to awaken. It resists, then it reaches. It denies, then it desires. And somewhere in the ache, a new truth is born. He may not name it yet. He may not act on it yet. But it's there, a current under the surface, pulling him back to what's real. The angels show him signs. Songs. Numbers. Dreams. Moments that repeat until he can no longer dismiss them as coincidence. And you? You are the message that won't fade. The angels say, this awakening is not for you to rush. It is his to walk through. But your light is what lit the path. Let it unfold. For what is real, always returns. He comes close, and then pulls away. Drawn like a tide, receding before he even touches the shore. You feel the rhythm. The ache. The almost. The again. The angels say, he doesn't mean to hurt you. But he hasn't yet learned how to stay where love asks for presence. It's not rejection. It's recognition. of something too big for him to hold all at once. So he flinches, retreats, builds reasons, finds distractions. But the connection, it never really leaves. Even when he turns his back, his spirit is still facing you. This isn't a game. It's a wound. He wants you, and he fears you. He's tasted something real, and now he's terrified he'll never live up to it. The angels whisper, he disappears to protect the illusion that he's still in control. But even in the silence, you are the echo he cannot quiet. You wonder what you did wrong. But the truth is, you did what no one else dared. You loved him in his becoming. You stayed when he could barely stand himself. And now, the back and forth is not your punishment. It's his unhealed cycle, playing itself out in the presence of something holy. You are not here to fix it. You are not here to wait endlessly. The angels remind you, his running is not about you. But your peace must be. He will come again. Not because you chased, but because the soul always circles back to what felt like home. One day, the pattern will break. Not because it ends in distance, but because he'll finally realize that your love never asked for perfection, only honesty. Let him find that in himself. And let your heart rest in knowing, you are not the storm. You are the calm he hasn't yet learned how to hold. He doesn't understand how you do it. How you continue to love. Even through silence, even without answers, even when the future is fog. The angels say, she heals without touching. She transforms without trying. Her love is not a feeling, it's a frequency. You never needed grand gestures. Just a whisper of sincerity. Just the truth. But what you gave was more than love. It was restoration. You showed him that affection could be soft. That being seen didn't have to mean being judged. That intimacy didn't demand the loss of self. He didn't know love could be safe. He only knew the kind that made him earn it, with silence, with compromise, with wounds disguised as loyalty. But you arrived like medicine. Not sweet, not easy, but necessary. Because what you gave asked nothing except that he receive. The angels whisper, your presence is balm for the parts of him he never thought could be soothed. And still, you expected nothing in return. You didn't rush him. You didn't beg for clarity. You simply stayed rooted in your truth. And that truth? It changed him. Not on the surface, but in the places only the soul can touch. He may not say it. He may not even fully understand it yet. But a part of him has already surrendered. The part that knows love does not demand. It offers. And your offering has made him believe, for the first time in a long time, that he may still be worthy of something real. The angels say, he was not looking for salvation. But he found you. And now he knows, love can heal. This was never chaos. It was choreography. The angels say, every pause, every pullback, every strange detour, was divinely timed. You were never abandoned. You were being aligned. Heaven does not hurry. And love, when it's sacred, follows no timeline but God's. You long for clarity. You crave the moment, when he turns, when he chooses, when he finally says what you've known deep down. But the angels whisper, there is still work being done in the unseen. Do not confuse silence with stillness. The heavens are moving. He is being softened. By time. By memory. By the invisible thread that pulls at his heart whenever he thinks of you. He doesn't know how to explain it. But you never left. Not in energy. Not in imprint. Not in the place his soul returns to when the world goes quiet. And you? You have walked with grace through confusion. You have kept your heart open, even when it would have been easier to shut the door. That is faith. Not loud. Not performative. But the kind that says, I trust what I cannot see because I know who's guiding it. The angels remind you, you are not waiting. You are becoming. And he is not lost. He is learning. This is not just about reunion. It's about revelation, about both of you awakening into what was always meant to be. Let this love unfold under divine light. Let it bloom not from desperation, but from divine preparation. Because when heaven moves, it moves in perfect time. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. He stands at the threshold. Not quite in, not quite gone. You feel it, the hesitation, the weight of words he's too scared to say. The angels say, he is not holding back because he feels nothing. He is holding back because he feels everything, and has no map for where it leads. He was never taught how to be soft, only how to be strong. How to build, how to lead, how to survive, but never how to fall into someone's arms and let himself be held. And now here you are, a safe place he never expected. And it terrifies him. Because if he lets this in, what else will he have to let go of? The walls that kept him safe now feel like a prison. The silence he once used as armor now screams in your absence. He wants to speak, but he's afraid that the words will unravel him. He wants to stay, but he fears it will cost him everything he's held onto: control, certainty, pride. The angels whisper, vulnerability is the gateway to love, but he was taught that it was the way to lose. So he waits, stuck in the space between desire and defense, between what he feels and what he's afraid will happen if he names it. But love, true love, asks for nothing but truth. And you, without knowing, have already shown him the way. Your softness, your steadiness, your silence that doesn't demand, but invites. The angels are working on his heart, not to push him toward you, but to open him to himself. And when that door opens, when fear gives way to courage, he will speak. And you will hear what your heart has known all along. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. Some loves are not built, they are remembered. And this is one of them. The angels say, she didn't chase it. She became it. And in becoming, she called it forth. You did not force this. You did not beg for it. You simply stayed true to your knowing, to your light, to the quiet truth echoing in your soul. This love is real. Not perfect. Not always clear. But sacred. Etched into the blueprints of your being. You're not here to convince him. You're not here to wait endlessly. You're here to trust that what is yours returns. Not because you held on, but because you let go in love. The angels remind you, you have never lost him. You only released what needed space to remember you. Acceptance is not defeat. It is reverence. For the divine unfolding. For the mystery of timing. For the strength it takes to stay open even when you do not yet see the outcome. He will return, not because you demanded it, but because his soul already chose you. Now, all that's left is to live. To love yourself more deeply. To laugh fully. To walk with faith and softness, knowing that nothing sacred is ever truly lost. The angels say, this is the chapter where you rest, where you receive, where love finds you as you are. And one day, he will meet you here, not in longing, but in presence. Because the kind of love you carry cannot be forgotten. It waits, but it does not shrink. It stands, glowing, at the edge of surrender, ready for whatever grace decides.